Our review of the game from Baylor was kind of what we thought, really close. Defense was opportunistic, forced turnovers, and ran to the ball really well. Came up with some key stops. Offensively, we played well. We were able to run the football, throw it when we need to, convert third downs. Special teams, coverage units were good. So overall, as a team, it was a good game for us. We got another challenge this week, as everybody knows, playing a very good football team. It's sound in all three phases and very good on defense and slowed everybody down. Very good in the kicking game. And offensively, they're going to run the football. They're going to run it every way possible and try to keep the other team's offense off the field. I don't think it's any secret. We're far enough along in the season now. We kind of know where we're at. So our players just need to continue to practice well, and I'm pleased with where we're at, obviously. And as long as our attitude and demeanor and things stay the way that they should, and we practice well, then we'll look forward to the game on Saturday.
Can you just talk a little bit about how unusual it's going to be to see a team that huddles on offense? I think it'll be the first time you guys see it this year.
Texas. We saw it at Texas, yeah. So it's unusual. The game moves along a little bit slower. Gives defense more of an opportunity to make their calls. But, you deal with it. You play a day, you play at night. Teams huddle, don't huddle. So you just deal with whatever is presented to you and get them ready to go.
108 points off takeaways is impressive.
Yeah, our team has been, opportunistic is the word I used earlier about takeaways and forcing turnovers, and then our offense has done a nice job of taking advantage of it. Winning the turnover margin in each game is obviously important. I think that's one area that's consistent across the country, and so fortunately for us, we've been able to take advantage of that some, and hopefully it'll continue the next few games.
Are you to the point where you feel like you can expect to get 3 or 4 turnovers a game and you can count on that, or?
I don't know if you can ever count on it. I feel like we're going to get turnovers. Our guys have made a believer out of me. But we would never expect it based on our approach to the game. It wouldn't change anyway. And I would guess at some time maybe it could run out. Maybe that won't happen. But if it does, then the offense needs to be more efficient and take advantage of the opportunities they do have.
You've typically had some short fields to deal with, but against Baylor you had a couple of 99-yard drives that were impressive.
You guys did a nice job coming off the goal line and changing momentum. We mentioned in the post game that there's a big swing of momentum when you go for a fourth down and you don't get it. And then if we're able to score off of that, much less 99 yards, really got the crowd into the game. I thought our crowd was a huge factor after those plays. And, that's why you don't see many teams go for fourth downs, even though I would bet that against our defense, against our team, the way people see us, we've probably gone up against double the fourth downs that other teams in this league have. That would be my guess. Not for sure, but there's been a bunch of them.
Mike, can you talk about how sweet it is to get Kai Staley in the end zone, a guy that does the dirty work, that loves the game so much that he's come back from a gruesome injury? How nice was it to see him celebrating after getting in the end zone for the first time?
Everything Kai does is just kind of a reminder of how special college football is, and seeing young men overcome obstacles. And Kai had a really difficult situation. We all know that. And he's worked his way back, and I'm sure there's some people that think that he shouldn't be out there. But he's made that decision. We've supported him 100%. And He makes plays for us. He's a big part of the football team. When you have success as a team, you have to have chemistry, and you have good players and guys that make a lot of plays, and then you have tough guys that make plays, and then you have guys that are role players, and Kai has accepted what his role is, and it's part of being on a good football team, and so we're thrilled that he's decided to make that choice to come back, and he's having success.
Mike, Kevin Clintworth just commented that Jim Thorpe announced their semifinalists, and Markel Martin was on there, and I think that was kind of expected. I saw a couple of their guys here at the game. They said Markel was definitely going to be on it. They were looking at Broderick. He wasn't a sure thing. He recovered 2 fumbles on Saturday. He's on it too. Talk a little bit about Broderick. I mean, he's 5'8", and he's playing 6'2".
He's another example of when you have good football teams, you have to have a mixture of different style of players, and Broderick's the guy that showed up when Parrish Cox missed curfew at the Cotton Bowl. Nobody really knew who he was. He had a broken arm for the entire season, practiced 5 days, became a starter in the Cotton Bowl, and played better than anybody in our secondary that day. And since then, his leadership both on and off the field, his attitude, he's beat up a lot. He's a little guy, so sometimes he'll miss a Tuesday's practice, and he'll come back, and he plays hard, and he's very opportunistic. That's kind of my word of the day. But he's in the right place at the right time. The balls that get tipped end up in his hands. He's in the right place when the ball's on the ground. He picks it up. But he's very athletic and he's very savvy. And that's why he's able to touch the football so much as a defensive player.
Mike, Josh Cooper wasn't able to finish the game, and of course Hubert's out for the season. What was your assessment of how Josh Stewart and Mike Harrison and Isaiah Anderson played on Saturday?
They played good. They were able to execute the plays that we thought gave us the best chance to move the ball and score points. But more importantly, they played with a lot of effort. Michael's playing hard. Josh Stewart plays hard all the time. Josh makes some mistakes because he's a freshman, but he plays hard without the football. And Isaiah's continued to get better each year. Fortunately for us, we've got a few guys there that can make plays when we do have a guy that can't compete for us. But we were pleased with their effort.
Are you playing more aggressive? You notice a more aggressive nature on your defense now, or is it just because of creating a lot of turnovers maybe?
I think we're active, John. I think they run sideline to sideline. I think they're up the field. I think there's more players that are in the area of the football. In the run game, there's more players around the quarterback when he throws it, and there's more guys that are running to it when the ball's in the secondary, and that's why it looks that way. I don't think that our play calling scheme is any more aggressive than it has been.
Mike, you kind of share your thoughts and memories of Bob Berry Sr. and the time you guys were able to spend here together.
Yeah, I was really I'm disappointed with the news yesterday. He always had a great sense of humor and a smile on his face, was very respectful to the players. And even through the years when I heard him on the radio, I thought he did a great job of never trying to tear anybody down. I mean, he was good at what he did. He didn't have to be controversial. You know, he could just call the game and be pleasant, and people enjoyed him. And a true sports legend. I mentioned that in a release yesterday on Twitter and through our media department, that a real sports legend in the state, and will be missed. You know, I'd visited with Junior several times and asked him how his dad was doing, and good and all that. So our deepest thoughts go out to their family.
Do you find it sort of ironic that you guys in Alabama are the only two teams that have two players on the Thorpe list, Markel and Brown, but everybody rags on defense?
Well, I wouldn't have known that unless you told me. And I only knew about the two guys making the Thorpe because it popped up on my computer screen. I don't have an answer for somebody else's opinion on our players. I'm not sure where they come up with that, to be honest with you, but I like our defense. I like our players' attitudes. I like how they compete. I think they play physical football. They're not perfect. Would I like them to get more 3 and outs? Sure. Would I like them to not give up as many total yards? Sure. But the end result up to this point for them has been something I'm pleased with. And more importantly, they rally together, they play with a good attitude, they play with a lot of excitement, and they have great body language. And I think that contributes to the overall success of our team.
It sounds like one of the things you talk to the kids about a lot about is no regrets. Is that something that you've been talking to them over the course of the season, that play out there without, in a way that you won't have regrets about how you played?
Well, that's kind of been our philosophy for a number of years. In February or January, when we started again after the bowl game, because there was so much talk about where we would be preseason, our coaching staff decided we might as well admit to them that they were going to be ranked high, and to take that challenge and not have any regrets. Oklahoma State's not going to win every football game they play for my tenure here as the head coach. I wish I could say we would, but it's not going to happen. There'll be teams lose games. If you lose a football game and somebody beats you, that's okay. But if you lose a football game because you didn't prepare well and you didn't play hard, that's not okay. And so we talked to them about having no regrets. During a Sunday through Thursday opportunity for practice, if they're taken away from themselves by not giving us effort and not preparing in film study and meetings and trying to get better, that's their fault. And then on Saturday, if they don't play with good effort and great effort, that's their fault. And the same works for the coaches. On Sunday through Thursday, if we don't prepare and we don't give them a chance to have success, that's our fault. And if we don't make the right decisions on Saturday for the most part and be aggressive as play callers, then that's our fault. And that falls into the regret category. So we want our team to play aggressive. We don't want to play under pressure, and we don't want to have any regrets when the game's over.